This is the CW News at 6:30.
A very good evening to you. Our top story, we continue to track the latest round of storms across central Virginia. This is video one of our viewers sent in earlier this evening. Welcome to the CW News at 6:30. I'm Brent Solomon in for Chris Thomas. For an update on the storm conditions outside, let's turn it right over to meteorologist Samantha. What are things looking like right now?
We still have some.
All right, thank you, Sam. We'll see you shortly. Well, a lot of confusion tonight for students moving into Virginia Union University. Parents are flooding our newsroom with calls saying their students had no place to stay, even though they applied for housing and paid the required fees. So Christina Head is on campus getting answers.
News.
Thank you for that, Christina. Let's turn it over to this crime alert out of Hanover. Deputies there want you to keep an eye out for this guy. They say he used a stolen credit card at a Mechanicsville business just last week. The sheriff's office did not identify which store he went to, but if you have any information on this credit card fraud suspect, call Crime Stoppers at 780-1000. And there is new information tonight surrounding a Henrico grandfather who died after an altercation with a security guard at VCU Medical. VCU now confirms the officer worked for Lewin Associates Security Services. Ashley Momford is at VCU Medical getting the latest in this case.
News.
Thank you, Ashley. Richmond police are now identifying that man killed after a double shooting on the south side. 26-year-old Brandon Harvey died hours after he was found shot in the 3400 block of Walmsley Boulevard Monday. Police say a second man was shot nearby. He is expected to be okay. Police are pursuing leads here, so if you have any information that can help, call Crime Stoppers at 780-1000. You can remain anonymous. A man convicted of killing a Hopewell cab driver will spend life in prison. 20-year-old Dyshawn Simpson pled guilty in a Hanover courtroom to first-degree murder this morning. Now, the plea comes after 26-year-old James Wells was found dead in a burned-out taxi cab last August. Another person also faces first-degree murder charges, 19-year-old Alicia Nicole DeJesus. She is set to go on trial in December. Right now, no arrest yet in the case involving vandalism at two Chesterfield businesses overnight. Crooks shattered glass doors at Hobby Extreme and Dynamic Hair Design. Those stores are located in the Big Lot Shopping Center at the intersection of Courthouse and Hull Street. No one was hurt, and police say nothing was taken.
$7,921.68.
Well, an outrageous water bill finds a Maryland woman demanding answers that the water company says it can't give. Renata Wallace's bills usually average $100. Well, this one shows she owes nearly $8 grand. The water company says there's no mistake. Readings show she used nearly 500,000 gallons of water in 100 days. Now that's equal to taking more than 60 baths a day. Can you imagine? Wallace lives alone in a townhouse with no pool, and she says she doesn't know about any leaks in her home. But the water company says there may be leaks on her property. The company offered to cut Wallace's bill 50%, but that's still $4,000 remaining on her bill. Good luck to her. Well, an update now to a story we first brought you last night. A viewer sent us this photo, and it quickly went viral on Facebook. The note accuses Richmond Mayor Dwight Jones of spending money on the Redskins and a brewery, but not this pothole on Kenmore Road. That's off of Forest Hill Avenue. Well, today, that pothole is fixed. Thank you to all of our viewers who liked and commented on Facebook. It helped get the attention of the mayor's office and make the road safer for all of you in that area. Well, schools across Virginia are doing better on standards of learning tests. The state just released the results from the last school year. Overall, the state reports 5-point gains in reading and math. Scores in writing, science, and history are also up. It may have helped that students in grades 3 through 8 were allowed to retake certain SOL tests for the first time. All right, a former substitute teacher in Virginia Beach learns his punishment for slapping a student. More on the story next. Well, a former substitute teacher in Virginia Beach learns his punishment for slapping a student. 64-year-old Dennis Burt slapped a 12-year-old when he spilled water on the teacher's cell phone and lesson plans. Burt maintained the student was defying him before spilling the water. Well, prosecutors say Burt caused the 12-year-old to cry. A judge ordered Burt to perform 25 hours of community service and pay a $250 fine. And many women in Northern Virginia are on edge. In the past few weeks, 4 women have been attacked in Arlington. The latest happened over the weekend. A 29-year-old woman walking home from a bar tells police a man came up behind her, put a pillowcase over her head, and threw her to the ground. Now, she was able to kick, scream, and get away. The victim was so traumatized, though, she did not call police for another few hours.
In this particular case,
Now, this is a police sketch made with information provided by one of the victims of 4 similar attempted sexual assaults in Arlington in just the last 2 weeks. Police say there's a strong possibility the same man may be involved in some or all of them. And a Florida mom is in jail accused of leaving her kids inside a running SUV while she went into a bar for a drink. And it gets more alarming when police show up. An officer spotted this breathalyzer installed in April King's SUV. It requires King to use it before the SUV can start. King was too drunk to use it, police say, so she had her 4-year-old blow into it.
Evidently,
Well, King is now behind bars and also charged with child neglect. All right, to Richmond now, and new efforts underway at this hour to reduce crime in Shockoe Bottom. Believe it or not, the city's renovations of the 17th Street Farmers Market may impact crime. Digging deeper tonight, our Curtis McLeod is speaking with police and joins us with the latest. Curtis. Thank you, Curtis. The initial part of the project will take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to actually complete.
This is CW.
All right, thank you so much, Sam. Well, a bizarre story. An NFL quarterback will miss significant time. That story when you join us coming up. Welcome back. We want to update you now on new information on that crash that seriously injured comedian Tracy Morgan and killed another man. Morgan was in a limousine when it was hit by a truck on the New Jersey Turnpike. Well, during a hearing today in Washington, the NTSB blamed the fatigued truck driver and a slow reaction to a reduced speed limit. But members also said the failure of Morgan and other passengers to wear seat belts and adjusted headrests contributed to the severity of their injuries. The limo had also been customized, limiting an escape route. All right, Jets quarterback Geno Smith will miss 6 to 10 weeks with a fractured jaw after taking a punch to the face during a locker room dispute this morning. To use Jets head coach Todd Bowles' words, Smith was, quote, cold-cocked, sucker-punched, whatever you want to call it, by reserve linebacker I.K. Enampali. Enampali was immediately released by the team after the incident happened. Bowles would not disclose the cause of the fight and said he was unaware of a festering issue between the two players. But now the Jets are without their projected starting quarterback, and as you probably guessed, that doesn't sit well with the team's head coach. Well, this isn't Enampali's first brush with violence. In college at Louisiana Tech, he was arrested for allegedly punching an off-duty police officer during a bar fight, and he received 13 months probation for that. The Jets, meanwhile, still search the market for another quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick will take over starting duties. And Oscar-winning actor Robin Williams is being remembered today, 1 year after his death. The 63-year-old committed suicide after secretly wrestling with addiction and illness, including depression and Parkinson's disease. Williams is survived by his wife and 3 adult children. And Brian Williams will return to television mid-September. NBC News said today he will serve as a breaking news anchor for cable news channel MSNBC. Williams was pulled from the NBC nightly news anchor chair after he exaggerated a story he covered during the Iraq War. The network suspended him without pay for 6 months. Williams said he, quote, wasn't trying to mislead people, but he said his ego got in the way. And that's all the time we have. We want to thank you for tuning in, and we hope you have a good night.